Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 321, Feeling Hopeless? Why Changing Your Life Still Matters. Well, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. How are we all doing out there? Really, how are you? I really want to know. And I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email, hello@angelamascenik.com. In full transparency, I am just feeling a little deflated, especially around everything that's happening in the world. It just feels like when I open up any Facebook or news outlet, that all of these headlines, it just feels like it's doomsday times 10. Does anybody else feel that way? Well, I do. And I'm sure I'm not alone. I know I'm not because I'm talking to my people about it. But it seems like everywhere we turn, there's bad news. There seems like there's a lot of political chaos and an overwhelming sense that nothing we're doing is really mattering, right? And when this hopelessness creeps in, our instinct is to check out. Often we freeze, we might numb with wine, we might scroll endlessly, we might disconnect. We just might not feel motivated to give a shit about anything, right? And this is just a dangerous place to be in because that's not really how we want to be, right? But it is a natural response when everything feels too big and out of control. And even, if there's other things going in your life that is not politically related or whatever, maybe somebody has recently had a cancer diagnosis or, maybe somebody lost their job or something like that, right? And it makes us question things, right? And so when you feel like things are crumbling around you, this is going to be a really good podcast for you to tune into. And to remind you that your personal choices still actually really, really matter because you matter. The way you show up for yourself, especially when things feel bleak, has a bigger impact on your life and others' lives than you realize. Okay, I promise you. What you do in your life, the choices that you still have to make are really, really important. So I just want to talk a little bit about hopelessness in this podcast episode and specifically how that can fuel over drinking and numbing behaviors and how to recognize when that's happening. And then how just making really small intentional actions can shift this feeling and mindset and energy. And how when you take just these little tiny small actions, it can have a ripple effect and it can create impact beyond you. Okay. And I know a lot of you are motivated just to do things to stop over drinking for other people than yourselves too. And then what to focus on when things do feel overwhelming. And it may not be what you think it is. And then I'm also going to help you with your mindset. So to break that why bother question, I had these thoughts today. I was like, why do I even want to record another podcast? Who even cares? Right? And I'm just so glad that I know not to engage with that stuff. I can recognize how I feel. It's okay to feel this way. And I can decide what I want to do from this feeling. That's the most powerful place to be. You don't have to let that feeling overtake you. You don't have to let that feeling drive actions. You can still show up and do things when you feel this way. So I want you guys to think about those things that I just mentioned. So hopelessness, think about feeling hopeless, right? So maybe you can resonate with having a recent overdrink. If you've had a recent overdrink, or maybe you can remember one, even if it's been a while, and maybe you had been working on it. And this overdrink really just deflated you. And you felt that, oh, am I ever going to figure this out? Why am I even bothering to do this? Right? What that feels like. For me, it feels deflated. Like I literally, like my stomach just, like it just kind of like, it's like a balloon. The air just lets out of the balloon. My shoulders slouch, my back curves over, and I just want to kind of crumple into a ball. Okay. It just feels heavy, feels deflating, right? And when we feel that way, what are some of the actions that you take from that place? I was just looking in my cupboards for something to eat. I don't drink anymore, but I was definitely looking for something. I was like searching for something to like distract myself, right? And when you feel this way, you might search for alcohol at the end of the day, especially if you're not really tuned in to how you're feeling or acknowledging how you're feeling. And just remember what our brain is programmed to do, right? So when you feel uncomfortable or you're feeling pain, which a lot of people would describe the feeling of hopelessness as painful, right? It doesn't feel good, right? That drives our brain to seek pleasure, to avoid that pain, and to save energy, right? So when you're in pain, we're avoiding pain, seeking pleasure, and saving energy. So it's not like you're gonna like, oh yeah, I feel hopelessness. I should just like go out and like plant a garden, or I should go run around the block, or I should do 15 push-ups. Like it doesn't drive that kind of behavior. It drives pleasure. I'm gonna go get some pleasure. And so if you can recognize how you're feeling and then interrupt that and see how that's playing out for yourself, like, okay, I recognize I'm feeling this way. I recognize that I want to numb, right? What can I do differently to take care of myself here? And this is where the small intentional actions can really shift things for you. I mentioned in a few podcast episodes ago that we're learning Portuguese, and that's been something really awesome and small that we are engaging with, right? Like we spend like an hour on it. We go through some verbs and some phrases and do some flashcards, and it just, it fuels us a little bit. It gives us something to focus on. We notice our progress on it, and it makes us feel good that we're actually doing something, right? And when you do that, or you invite others to do that with you, right? I can't stress the power of community right now, especially when you're feeling hopelessness. We don't want to be alone. We really don't. So call in your friends, call in your family, even if it doesn't feel natural or like you are motivated to be around people. I promise just being in the presence of people, even if you're just sitting around in your pajamas drinking tea, it's going to be a good thing. Like I went to the gym this morning, and I love going to that gym, even though I don't love, like, I'm not like, oh yeah, I get to wake up at 5:20 in the morning and then go to be at the gym at 7 a.m. lifting weights and sweat. I don't think about it like that. But what I think about is it's good for me. And as soon as I get in there and I'm with the women, it's a women's weightlifting group. I absolutely love it. If you're local, it's Fit on Main. It's the women's weightlifting circuit in Carborough. It's amazing. I just feel better, right? And like, one of the ladies asked me how I was doing, and I just said, I'm just really glad to be here. And then I was throwing a medicine ball against the wall as hard as I could, and I let my anger and my rage come out, and it just felt like I was doing something with it, right? Now, am I changing policies in the United States or helping people find jobs or any of that? No, but I'm taking my energy and I'm doing something that's good for me, right? And I'm connecting with other people and talking to them and being in community, even if it's small talk. And you can be around like-minded people. It's very, very helpful. So think about some small intentional action that you could do that would be good for you. Okay, so we're talking about your personal choices. When things feel hopeless and things feel out of control and all like there might be a swirl happening around you, you want to make a small intentional action for yourself. Okay, so we're talking about your personal choices that you still have agency over. All right, what comes up for you when I ask you that question? What's something small and intentional that you could do that might shift your energy or your mindset, even when you don't feel great, even when you feel hopeless? So get curious about that. Maybe brainstorm a little bit. For me, it's getting into the gym and lifting weights and being around people more often, talking to my friends, going outside for woods walks. snuggling with Jackie Poo, right? Learning Portuguese. These are all good things, right? Cooking a really good meal, being a little bit more intentional in my food and like being a little bit more creative. Those are things that are easy and simple to do that will give you the little shift that you're hoping for. And then when you start doing that consistently, okay, just a few little things, there'll be a ripple effect. Okay. And you'll know that you can endure. It'll help increase your like endurance to be able to handle difficult things more. And you don't find yourself needing to run away or numb or hide or freeze. So showing up for your life and for yourself because you matter, right? I talk about this all the time when people think, oh, it just doesn't matter. One glass won't hurt. Well, it does matter. And you're right. One glass of wine isn't going to hurt you, but it's never just the one glass, right? Your goals matter. You matter. Your personal choices matter. How you feel every day matters, even when maybe your life hasn't been as impacted. Okay. And you still are feeling bad. A lot of people feel guilty for feeling bad when they still have their jobs or they're not dealing with a cancer diagnosis in their family, right? Or something hasn't been cut from them. They feel bad that they have negative emotions, and that doesn't help anybody. Right? Like you not acknowledging how you feel and making yourself a priority literally doesn't help the world. It keeps you small, right? It keeps you stuck. But we need people to be clear and be healthy and to be sound mentally, to make good decisions and talk to our family and friends and think about how they can get involved to help other people, right? So when you're feeling better and you can show and demonstrate to the people in your life that you can still move forward and you can still do things that are good for you, that has a ripple effect. I cannot tell you this work and helping people stop over drinking, women stop over drinking, and they tell me, how it has helped their kids, right? Deal with their feelings and deal with bullying at school and how they, go out and try new things and do tryouts or go in plays and they're sleeping better and they have a deeper connection with their kids. And then the spouses of these women and the impact that it has in their relationship and at work. They learn these skills and they go and they, influence the people around them at work. It has a ripple effect. So if you're motivated, if you think it's selfish to just focus on yourself, I want to let that idea of the ripple effect of taking care of yourself, even when things feel hopeless, is a good thing. You never know what people are absorbing from you. One little comment can change somebody's life. I hear it all the time. How you show up, what you say, the questions you ask people, what you're doing in your day-to-day life and your energy has a huge ripple effect in the rest of the world. And you deserve to have that. You deserve to feel good and take care of yourself no matter what is going on. And so if you can focus on a couple of these little things when things feel overwhelming, this is how we make changes, because you can stay more clear and more focused on what's important. And then that's when ideas come in. That's when community involvement can take place. And it's not really, it's like, what can I do? I can't do anything. It's out of my control. There's nothing I can do that helps anything. That's not true. Taking care of yourself is helping, right? You don't need to get so down and stuck and over drinking that you don't have an impact, right? That's what the bad people want us to do, right? They want us to just stop. They want us to just be scared. The news wants us to be scared. They want us to live in fear. And you can fight against that by taking good care of yourself. So the why bother is all of this, right? It's going to make you feel better. And when you feel better, it has a ripple effect in the world. And you deserve to feel better no matter what is going on, even if things are bad, even if you're going through a terrible thing in your life right now. Okay. You still deserve the attention that makes you feel better in your life. Okay. So I want you to think about what is one small thing that you can do this week that could shift your mindset and your energy. It might be getting off social media. It might be getting into the gym and lifting some really heavy weights. It might be going out for a long walk in nature. It might be scheduling that coffee with that friend that you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe it's looking up some fun things to do. We can still have fun. You can still enjoy your life even when it feels overwhelming and hopeless. Okay? You can, and I promise you it will help. You might still feel a little bit hopeless. You might still have that kind of running in the background, but these small little hits that you can get throughout the day will really, really help you keep moving forward and stay motivated to keep moving forward. It's springtime, like go out and find some, flowers that are budding and take pictures of them. And what are you noticing about the seasonal change in nature? I just think it's beautiful to notice that like the birds still sing, the sun still comes up, the flowers are still blooming, right? How can you think about yourself like that? How can you still bloom when things feel hopeless? And that's your sort of like your birthright, right? You're alive and you have the agency over yourself to decide what you can do even when you feel this way. That's a beautiful thing about being a human being. We actually don't just have to feel hopeless and then our actions suffer from that. You can decide, even when I feel this way, I can do these things and I can have small little moments of joy and happiness, even when. All right, friends? So that's your assignment this week, is even when I feel this way, I can do these little things. And then I want to hear about it. So send me an email. All right, my friends? Chin up. We got you. I'm here to support you. If you have not signed up for Wine Free Work Week, why not? It starts on Monday. This is one of your last chances. It's angelamascenik.com/WFWW. And you will get access to everything on Sunday. And then Monday through Friday, we have live coaching calls with me. So come get coaching on this kind of stuff. It's a Q&A style format. There'll be about an hour every day. They're automatically recorded and uploaded into your own private portal. So you have immediate access to it. And there's going to be a little daily assignment for you to engage with. Talk about a small intentional action that will shift your mindset away from some of the hopelessness that you might feel and give you something to work on and boost your confidence a little bit. You matter and your personal choices matter. So use this as the thing that you do. If you haven't signed up already, if you're in a live AF or Stop Over Drinking and Start Living, you get access to it. So don't sign up for it. You're automatically registered. But if you're not in one of those programs, you need to sign up for it. All right. It's $14.97 for 5 days of coaching with a chance to win daily prizes, be around an amazing, positive, beautiful group of women all working on this together. And I promise you will feel less hopelessness and less like things don't matter, because there's a whole lot of people out there working on things and we'd love to have you. So sign up for Wine Free Work Week and I will talk to you all next week, my friends. You got this. Bye.